already know who came to mind the moment you read those words. You didn't have to think about it. There was no hesitation, no searching through a list of names. One person arrived, clearly, quietly, the way they always do. And now you are here, sitting with that feeling, wondering if any of this means something. It does. And what psychology reveals about this kind of persistent, uninvited thinking will change the way you see what is happening between you two right now. There is something that people rarely talk about honestly, and it is this. When someone keeps returning to your thoughts, not just once, not just when you are sad, but at random moments in quiet spaces in the middle of ordinary days, your mind is not malfunctioning. It is not being dramatic. It is not punishing you. Something deeper is operating beneath the surface, something that psychology has studied for decades, and that your own nervous system already understands on a level that words can barely reach. You are not imagining this connection. You are not making it bigger than it is. Your brain is doing something extraordinarily precise, and it is doing it because this person genuinely matters to you in ways that go beyond convenience, beyond habit, beyond simply missing them. This is not coincidence. This is not your loneliness looking for a face to attach itself to. What you feel is real, and it deserves to be understood, not dismissed. So let us go beneath the surface together. Let us look at what is actually happening. The psychological, the emotional, and yes, perhaps something even harder to name than either of those. The first piece of proof lives in something called intrusive cognition. This is the psychological term for thoughts that arrive without your permission. Scientists who study emotional bonding have found that when a person occupies a significant emotional space in your life, when they have touched something real in you, whether through love or loss or the kind of closeness that never fully resolves, your brain files them differently than it files other people. They are not stored the way you store a grocery list or a work email. They are stored at a deeper neurological level, in the same region of your brain that processes survival, safety, and attachment. This means that when your mind returns to them, it is not being weak, it is being honest. It is surfacing the thing it considers emotionally unfinished. And here is what makes this remarkable. That same process, that same neurological filing happens in two people simultaneously when the bond between them is genuine. When the connection is real, both people experience the intrusive return. You think of them, and in ways you cannot see from where you are sitting, they think of you too. The second piece of proof is found in something called emotional mirroring and energetic resonance. This is where psychology and something less clinical begin to overlap. Research into interpersonal connection has shown that people who share a strong emotional history, who have laughed together, cried together, been vulnerable with each other, or loved each other even imperfectly, develop what some researchers describe as synchronized emotional states. This means that your emotional experiences are not entirely separate from theirs. When something stirs in you, when you feel that familiar pull toward them on a Tuesday afternoon for no obvious reason, it is often because something has stirred in them first. You feel the signal before you understand it. You reach toward it before you can explain it. This is not mysticism, although it brushes up against something that science has not yet fully named. This is the real documented phenomenon of two nervous systems that learned each other and never entirely forgot. The third piece of proof is in the timing. You are here right now. You found this video, or this video found you, at a moment when this person was already on your mind. That timing is not random. Psychology tells us that we move through cycles of emotional processing, periods of quiet followed by sudden surfacing, stretches of feeling fine followed by waves of feeling everything all at once. When those cycles align with content that mirrors your inner world, It is because your emotional state is active, awake, and seeking reflection. And when two people share a bond, their emotional cycles often run parallel, without either of them knowing it. They are having their wave, while you are having yours. You are both at this very moment somewhere inside the same feeling, even if you are in different rooms, different cities, or different chapters of your lives. The fourth piece of proof is perhaps the most personal, and it lives inside you, not in any textbook. It is the fact that you have not let this person go, not fully, not in the quiet place where you are most honest with yourself. And that kind of holding on is not something humans do arbitrarily. The mind is efficient. It releases what it truly no longer needs. The fact that this person remains vivid, present, returning without being invited, tells you something true about the nature of what existed between you. You do not persistently think about things that did not matter. You think about them precisely because something real happened, something that left a mark, something that the most honest part of you is still in conversation with. And that conversation, that quiet, ongoing dialogue that lives in your chest and surfaces in your stillest moments, does not happen in isolation. Somewhere in their stillest moments, they are in it too. Now pause here because this matters. You deserve to be chosen. Not almost chosen, not chosen when it is convenient, not chosen in the spaces between someone else's priorities. You deserve to be someone's clear and conscious answer, not their backup, not their comfort in confusion, their choice. Whatever has happened between you and this person, whatever shape the distance between you has taken, the depth of what you feel for them does not make you less. It makes you someone who is capable of loving with their whole self. That is rare. That is not a flaw to be corrected. That is a quality that deserves to be met with equal depth. Your feelings are not too much. Let that settle. The intensity of what you carry for this person, the way they surface in your mind uninvited, the way a song or a smell or a certain quality of afternoon light brings them back. That is not evidence that you are broken or obsessed or unable to move on. It is evidence that you feel things fully, that you loved without withholding, that your heart knows the difference between someone who mattered and someone who did not. The world will sometimes try to tell you that loving this deeply is a liability. It is not. It is one of the most profound things a human being can do. And your silence, whatever quiet you have been keeping, whatever words you have held back, whatever reaching out you have not done, that silence is not cowardice. Do not let anyone make you believe otherwise, including the quieter voice inside your own mind. Your silence is wisdom. It is you knowing that timing matters. It is you protecting yourself until safety feels real. It is you holding space for something that may not yet be ready, rather than forcing it before its moment. There is strength in stillness. There is dignity in waiting until you know what you truly want to say. Whatever comes next, you were right to feel this. You were right to wonder. You were right to let it matter. If what you heard today touched something real in you, you are exactly where you belong. This channel, Psychology Wisdom, exists for people who feel deeply and think honestly. People who want to understand not just what they feel, but why and what it means. Subscribe so you do not miss what comes next. Leave a comment telling us who came to mind. You will not be the only one. And if this video helped you feel less alone today, please share it with someone who needs to hear it too. Thank you for being here.